Well, I am here with Kevin Sorbo. Kevin, good to see you. Thank you for being with us. The excitement about a movie. Now, I'm excited about God's Not Dead, but you're a movie man, so. But yet you're saying that there's a momentum, there's an anticipation about this movie. Talk a little bit about the feedback you're getting from just the people that you interact with about God's Not Dead.
Well, it's actually huge. I mean, from what PureFlix is telling me as well, the number of churches that are signing up every week to promote it, let people know about it. But just, you go on the internet and look at the millions of hits that the movie is getting and people viewing it. For a lower budget movie, and it doesn't look low budget, trust me. I mean, they did a very good job of this. It's unbelievable how it's tracking with people. I get stopped every day somewhere in LA, whether I'm at the post office, a grocery store, I'm at the gym, or wherever it might be. Somebody walks up and says, I just saw the trailer for God's Not Dead. I can't wait to see the movie. So the buzz is huge on it, which is great.
Now I'm imagining in Los Angeles, they can separate Kevin Sorbo, the actor. Now if you were here in Nashville, everybody would be coming up trying to witness to you as the atheist professor. So I'm assuming that in LA, there's a little bit of a distinction of knowing the difference in movie and reality.
Well, I'm in here in Nashville right now. I'm actually shooting a movie. I've just finished our first week. We have 2 more weeks on it, and nobody's done that yet. But
once the movie starts rolling, if you're around, Christians would definitely want to come and share the gospel with you.
It's going to be, I know there's going to be a kickback in a negative way from people that are atheists, and they're going to take it obviously an attack on what they believe in, which is nothing. But so
well,
let's see
it's
what
true.
happens.
That's true. Now we've just seen the trailer, and obviously your role there's an energy, there's a passion. I mean, you play this role as realistically as I've ever seen anyone play an atheist role. Was that something you had to study? Did you have any sense of the pain of that through some of your own journey?
Well, I'm in Hollywood, so
you hear this.
It's all right there in front of me already. But yeah, you know what? I've got atheist friends. I've had very good debates with some of my atheist friends. There's only one that will get very angry about things. And I say, why do you get so angry about something you don't believe in? I don't agree with the way they think, but I can play it. It's written in the script. The script is a wonderful script. PureFlix does a great job. I've worked with them before. I had a movie come out called What If that I would love people to take a look at. It's on Netflix. And
for so many people, the issue of the existence of God, it's almost as if there is no proof for God. And when you actually say, you talked about your wife writing a book about this, but when you say there is evidence for God, when you say something like that, do you find the average person thinks there is no evidence, it's just a matter of faith and it's blind? That seems to be maybe the mindset of that faith has no evidence, but yet I think what this movie is trying to show is that no, real faith isn't blind. Yeah. There's reasons to believe. Any thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, I think that's where the word faith came from. I mean, my discussions with the atheists that I know are, look, if I'm wrong, I've lost nothing, but I believe that I'm right and I'm going to gain everything. To me, you just look around you. This didn't happen. Something started all this. How did you look at the heaven, you look at the stars, you look at the infinity of space, and it's mind-boggling to think that it just happened on its own. There was something, there's someone, there's some supreme person, being that started all this. And I mean, I've always believed that. I've always been a Christian. I grew up as a Lutheran. I'm really non-denominational now. I don't really follow one. I think, hopefully it's all the same God. I think that this arguments over my God's better than your God are ridiculous to me. But I'm like I said, I'm just grateful for this movie. I'm grateful to play a part like this, and that people don't take it so seriously that I think I'm an atheist, as you said, because it has happened. I've got a friend who played a bad guy in a soap opera, and he would get yelled at by women in grocery stores.
Now let me just digress a minute and say, your book is called True Strength.
Yes.
And the irony is that being Hercules, all of a sudden something dramatic happens and you lose your health. Mm-hmm. Give a flyover of that, just what happened.
Near the end of season 5 on Hercules, the last 3 months, I kept having problems with my left arm. I couldn't figure what was going on with it. These fingers kept getting cold. There was pain through the shoulder. And I was blowing it off. I was doing my own stunts. I grew up playing football and basketball, only sports in Minnesota, and I just thought, I was not pay attention to it. Flew back, finished season 5, flew back to shoot a movie in Atlanta. In LA, I stopped to do some promotional work on a movie that was coming up that I shot in Bratislava. It was called Kull the Conqueror, the prequel of Conan the Barbarian. Okay. So I went to see my doctor. He found a lump in my shoulder. That lump ended up being an aneurysm. And before they could do anything, it had been spitting clots off into my arm, into my fingers, making them cold and numb, slowly over a period of time. Before we could do anything about it, before I found out the problem I had, I went to see my chiropractor. As I laid on the table, I heard a voice inside my head said, don't let him crack your neck. And I opened my eyes, I said, did you say something to me? He said, I didn't say anything. Closed my eyes again, right away, do not let him crack your neck. And I thought, that's so weird. He's never cracked my neck in 8 years because I don't like my neck cracked. And as I'm thinking, why am I hearing this voice saying, don't, he cracks my neck. That crack where the aneurysm was so close to the artery feeding the brain, forced 3 of the clots in my brain. I suffered 3 strokes. So I went from a guy that was in better shape than most guys in their 20s that are athletes. I was in my 30s at the time, my mid-30s, to a guy that was, 95 years old and getting strokes. I couldn't stand up, I couldn't walk, I had vision problems, I still have a 10% loss in both eyes. And that voice obviously was God trying to warn me. I paid no attention to it. And I think the biggest lesson was listen to that voice. And speaking of atheists, my atheist friend said that wasn't God. I go, we call it what you want, but in your life, how many times have you walked down the street by yourself somewhere at night, you're going to go down an alleyway, and something in your head says you better not go that way? So call it what you want, but that was God talking to you.
Absolutely.
And I spent the next 4 months learning how to walk again, and it took me 3 full years to recover, but it was I pushed myself very hard. I railed against God, trust me. I blamed him for this.
And this is what I'm getting to. I'm thinking, is there any connection? Because during this, at your low moment, are you thinking, why did you let this happen?
Sure. There was a time, for a long time, where you said this is a faith-based movie. It turned even religious people off, because they were so cheesy. And they looked bad. The acting was bad, the writing was bad. It looked like really bad soap opera, bad music, bad lighting, everything. It doesn't happen that way anymore.
Do you hate God?
It's not even a question.
Okay. Why do you hate God?
This is ridiculous.
Why do you hate God? Answer the question. You've seen the science and the arguments. Science supports his existence. You know the truth. So why do you hate him? Why? It's a very simple question, Professor. Why do you hate God?
Because he took everything away from me. Yes, I hate God. All I have for him is hate.
How can you hate someone if they don't exist?
Thank you, Kevin Sorbo, for being a part of this and
I'm
leading
pop
the way.
It up there. I hope that goes.
No, we're
going
to absolutely true strength. We were going to do a little. We will do a little cut into the book.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate
so we'll do
that.
A little cut
but
in
definitely
on that.
go see God's Not Dead.
Yes, very good. And I like the short hair. I think it's good. Good. Long hair would have been good in the '80s. But anyway, thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.